The show's about to start. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of No Conduct Radio. I probably sound really echoey to you right now, but that's because I'm not at my home base for the show today. Today, we are actually talking about Logic's topic that's near and dear to his heart, a topic that he's been wanting to talk about for a long time, a topic. Okay, we'll just get to it. What do women bring to a relationship? This is what we're discussing tonight. I asked this question of our listeners, and I've had some very interesting responses for it that we'll talk about later on in the show. So if you want to get in on it, you can actually email us at noconductradio@gmail.com or send us a text at 484-840-3627. Or as you know, you can always call in to 607-203-5378. That's 607-203-5378. And you would hit option 1 to let us know that you wanted to speak. Currently, we're joined by me, Kai. I'm your host, and Logic. Char is fashionably late, as usual, and BJ is too rich for us now. So he's, hobnobbing with the rich folks in LA and stuff. So he won't be here today. Other than that, how is it going, Logic?
Everything is going groovy.
Oh, good God. You don't need to try and put any kind of excitement into your voice. It sounds horrible. Poor guy. You can't win, can you?
No, doesn't seem like it.
You'll be all right. So, since DJ's not here, you're going to have to fill in for him. What's in the news this week? What's been going on? What have we missed? And all that good jazz.
I don't know what's happening currently. I know that I've been reading about this this transgendered woman in Australia that went into a 7-Eleven and cleaved the guy in the face with a 2-kilogram axe. Hit him twice.
God.
And then hit this woman in the back of the head and then walked out. And he only had to do 4 years. And he's getting out.
What?
Yeah, it was insane. And then, of course, he, blamed the incident on
society.
what I was taking. No. He was saying that he was taking hormone medicine, and it made him go crazy, and blah blah blah, and that's what the courts found too. And it was a strange case. I think I might put it up on the Meanwhile Monday for next week. But it was just crazy. And he's getting in the guy.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the guy that got hit in the face, the first one he attacked, he was like, he felt some type of way about it. It's like, this dude, he said, I just happened to not die. It wasn't that he wasn't trying to kill me, and he only has to do 4 years.
So basically what you're telling me is all I have to do is get some hormones in my system and go out and do some crazy crap and then just say, like, it was because of the hormones.
Well, no, you're black, so it'll be a problem for you.
Oh well. Obviously, I forgot about that. Sorry. Oh my God! But I saw that, and I actually just shared that story on my Facebook. Um, but I didn't know, cause I guess I didn't really read the whole thing or watch the video or whatever the story was. I can't remember. But I thought it was a woman. My point, the reason why I shared it was because people like saying guns are the problem, and I'm like, guns aren't the problem. People are the problem. That's why
Yeah,
I
I mean,
shared it.
you're definitely right about. I never thought about it like that, but yeah, you're absolutely right because somebody could just take an axe and like the first thing that was weird to me is that this was like in the middle of the night and somebody just walks into the 7-Eleven with an axe. I was like, who? Why did nobody there look at that like this is a problem? What's going on here? You know what I mean? Like they just kept
Yeah.
shopping. Like, oh, I guess like I don't know. Maybe I just have a suspicious mind. But if I see something like that, I'm immediately taking a defensive stance. You know, I'm not going to turn my back on that person. You know, or continue. And then the girl, she was up there first buying something, and I was just like, what is taking her so long to get out of the store and to get? It was just the amount of situational awareness that was not there that was bothering me. But
I mean, did they see the axe and they were just like doo doo doo,
you couldn't
or
miss it. It was like a 4.5 foot handle. You know what I mean? It was a big. It's
good lord?
huge. It was like something you chop a tree down with. But
Wow.
he slash she
Well,
just cocked back and hit the dude in the face, and then took another swing at him when he was down, and then hit the woman in the back of the head.
and it wasn't even somebody he knew. This was
No,
just a random person.
just yeah. And there was like a third person that they attacked off camera somewhere. Like I guess on the street coming to or maybe leaving, attacked the third person, and then they caught up.
Did that person survive?
I don't know. I didn't find out about that third person. But I was just more
Hmm.
flabbergasted that this was not considered attempted multiple murders. And regardless of what's going on, like you're electively like if you were to believe the defense, you are electively taking these hormones. And if you're going out and you're taking these hormones and you have psychological problems, and on top of that, you're compounding it with alcohol or drugs. It's like, how is that a defense? That's not a defense. You're deciding to do these things. So I don't know, and I don't know how that absolves you from any wrongdoing. You know, because I
Yeah.
know if black people here are just moving the wrong way and they get murdered, it's like the first thing out of the supervisor or the police union's mouth is, well, they used the force necessary for the situation, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter if they're unarmed or whatever like that. If I personally was to, you know, be depressed and I'm taking antidepressant pills and I am drinking alcohol or getting high on drugs on the side and I just walk out with an axe and I just hit some woman in the face and hit another guy in the back of the head and I'm just walking around like, oh, you know, I just felt crazy because of the drugs. I don't remember anything until I woke up in custody. I'm going to jail. You know what I mean? For attempted
Yep.
murder. Maybe at best, I'm going to jail for manslaughter, attempted manslaughter, or something like that. It'll definitely be years and years until I get out. But you know, this dude, who wants to be a chick, somehow he's a victim of circumstances. It's insane to me.
I mean, yeah, because that was my thing. Like he didn't have to take the hormones, so that's still not an excuse. It's something that you chose to do. That was my thing too. Wow. Well, I'm glad I didn't watch the video then, because I would have been pissed off. And I already watched a video last night where, like, right down the street from me, some black kids were just playing in the on a what you call it basketball court in a public park, and like freaking one, two, three, four cop cars surrounded the place. They said they got some dude on a warrant, and because I don't even know how they knew it was a dude. They just pulled up and was like, "Hey, you come with us." And then they started telling the other black kids to get off the property because if you don't live there, you have to have a permit to play there. And you have to go look at the ordinance and all this other crap. And they're sitting there telling these people to get off the public park because of some ordinance. And they're like, we don't normally enforce it, but we're enforcing it now. And they're just... Sometimes it's just really hard not to get angry at people. Like, it's just really hard. So I think I needed a break from that
you
video
know what?
I watched.
I remember seeing that. They claim that, yeah, they said you gotta leave because if you don't live in that township, you can't be at that public park. And then the guy was like, well, how you don't know where I live? How do you know where I live? And then they were like, well, where do you live? And so yeah, I did see that. That was really crazy.
Yeah, and then he's like, he's like, I live down the road. He's like, where's your ID? Okay, so we got to walk with our ID now? Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, we must always be ready. We always got to have our papers.
And
like,
I think that's the stress level that as a black person that you have, especially as a black male. I mean, black girls try to say that they got it just hard. They don't, honestly. They don't have to. Like, if black girls are walking around, they are typically not going to be harassed by the cops. But dudes, if you congregate anywhere, even in this case, like you're saying, it's just a bunch of black dudes coming together to play basketball at a public basketball court. You're going to have cops around you and ask you for your ID and tell you that, they assume that you can't possibly live in their township, not the neighborhood, not the street. You can't possibly live on that side of the county. And they're basically chasing you out, like a sundown town from back in the day when you needed a green book to travel as a black person. Like, it's that kind of thing. Like, black people hear that kind of thing and say, oh, man, it was crazy back in the 50s. That's still happening. Like, it might not be as pronounced as it was, like, oh, you're in a heap of trouble, boy, you know where you are. But it's still that kind of energy and mentality. Give me your ID. Who are you? Identify yourself to me because I don't know you and you don't belong here. Like, for you to have to report to this stranger and explain yourself just for existing in that space for that moment, you have to explain yourself. It's infuriating.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, after watching that, I kind of just had to stay away from videos like that and calm down. Because when you see stuff like that, I don't know about anybody else, but when you watch stuff like that, when you watch Roots, when you watch, what's the name of that movie where they Rosewood, is it? When you watch
Yeah, Rosewood.
American American History X, is that what it's called, or American X or something like that? When you watch um, just a bunch of these different movies that show how it was back in the day, and then you're constantly seeing black people getting shot or mysteriously killed in jail, or just people running up on them like, get out of this park. Just it's hard not to become racist your damn self. It's like like after a while I gotta like detox from it, because I just gotta remember not all white people are like this. Not everybody in the world, not everybody hates black people. I gotta remember that. It's like, oh, you gotta detox sometimes. And after I watched that video last night, I had to detox. So I'm kind of glad I didn't really watch this video with the woman or the dude. I shared it because, like I said, it was just saying that it's not guns that kill people, it's people that kill people. So even if you supposedly have this gun control going on, all somebody has to do is wield an axe. That's it.
Mhm. Mhm. I mean, it's the same thing in Britain. Like Britain, they outlawed all of the guns, and like there's a rash of knife killings, and like so it's like, what are you gonna do? Knives now? Like you can't. You don't need a kitchen knife over 3 inches. They're illegal now. Like it doesn't matter. People are gonna find ways to kill themselves. They've always done it. You got a
If
nut.
somebody wants to hurt somebody, it's gonna happen, and that's just what it is.
Yeah, in China, there was a dude crazy. Went to a kindergarten or something like that, or it was a kindergarten, and just was randomly running around stabbing kids until the cops showed up,
Damn.
which the cops didn't have guns and they couldn't do anything, so he was just still.
Even the cops don't have guns?
In China, no. Like they had that call for a unit that had weapons, and they got there and got the guy. But yeah, he was stabbing people for a good 20 minutes.
Wow.
I'm
Wow.
telling you, it's ridiculous. It's stupid. The thing is, I'm not irrational. I don't think ever. Like I don't think. Like I can't remember who said it, but they were like teachers should have weapons in school in case of a school shooting.
No,
I
they
don't think
shouldn't.
so. I don't think so. I think teachers should just be teachers. But I think if you're going to hire, like, I don't think cops should be in school either, because I think cops are way too toxic and aggressive. I mean, because if cops are telling black kids to get off of basketball courts, a young black teen, like that cop doesn't need to be at a school where a teacher is going to say, I need the cops in here to get this student under control. But no, I don't think cops should be patrolling school. I remember that years ago where that cop went in there and flipped that girl over on her head out of the
Oh,
desk
yeah.
because she wouldn't. It's like, well, why were you even there? This is a school matter. Why are you calling the cops for a student and teacher matter? So I don't think cops should be in school, but as far as school safety, hire a security detail, that patrols, or is there during certain hours or whatever. Teachers don't need to be packing heat. And as far as people, I
Mm-hmm.
think people along with police officers should have to go through a psychological test. I don't mind that. I don't think that's too much. Like some
Well,
people are like,
there's a
oh,
study. There's a study that they say they just conducted that they're seeing that people who are in racist groups, so like the KKK, for instance, have quote unquote infiltrated our top government. And I'm like, you have to do it. There's a lot of things that I'm like, you have to do a study for that. I could have told you that for free. And they didn't infiltrate anything. They act like they're a secret organization or something.
Well, I think that's the thing that people need to be honest about in this country. I mean, I remember somebody was telling me, don't you think it's getting better I was like, no, not really. I think it's the same as it's always been. I said, if you mean the fact that something like Jim
We're
Crow is
not
not happening,
slaves.
yeah, we're no longer in Jim Crow. But I said David Duke ran for governor and he almost won. This is a dude that's known as a ex Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. He almost won. Like he was only a few percentage off of winning governor. So no, I don't think we're doing better at all. It's it's just as bad as it's always been. But you got police officers and non-police officers flying the thin blue line flag. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's like a black American flag with one blue line, and that was basically the response to Black Lives Matter.
Black
So
Lives
black
Matter.
people get
Yeah.
together. Black people get together and say, "You're murdering us as if our lives don't matter," and we're here to say that our lives do matter. Those white people heard Black lives matter more than all people in this country. That's what they heard when those black people said that. So their response was to get angry and then come up with their own protest to that protest, which was a thin blue line, blue lives matter.
But the funny thing is, all black people said was Black Lives Matter. They came up with a flag, shirts, like everything. They're sitting there
Yeah.
waving flags on the back of their car, like, oh my gosh, really?
And
It's that
there's police
serious?
departments that have it etched onto their cruisers. So think about the implications of that. Number one, you have a government entity that's altering the American flag to make a political statement, which is illegal in the flag code of the Constitution. I'm not the Constitution, the laws of the country. That's illegal. You can't do that. Two, you these cops and these people are letting you know immediately, I don't agree with Black Lives Mattering. So they're then going to say hypocritically, when you call the police, you're supposed to feel that this person is in your corner and there to help you, even though they have an emblem or a bracelet that makes it very clear how they feel about your protest of your Black Lives Mattering. And on top of that, your young black male athletes, which young black males are the ones that are killed the most by police in this country. These young black males who are athletes that happen to play football are kneeling during the anthem and saying, "This is, we feel since we have to wear pink and stuff to bring awareness to women with breast cancer, we're going to kneel to bring awareness to the amount of young black males who are shot unarmed and innocently." The response of the country was, you no longer should have a career in football. And then owners saying, if any of my players, we're going to fine them and blah, blah, blah. The vice president came down and was, you know, standing against it. And the president said there was a day that, those guys would get roughed up or, don't you wish they could drag those bastards off the field? Like, this is the response. Just by saying we don't agree with this, what's going on. And what's the woman's name? I can't remember. She's a personality on Fox. She said, "Just shut up and dribble." Talking about LeBron
Wow.
James when he was speaking out about something.
Wow. But if we had told
Lindsey
her
Graham.
to shut up, that would have been stop mansplaining, stop this, you're shaming women, all this other crap.
Oh yeah, it would have been a chauvinist position, for somebody to tell her to shut up and entertain them. Oh, you don't respect my opinion. But this is what's constantly shown to the young black youth is we don't care. We don't want to hear what you have to say. We are not concerned. Anytime you feel that you feel some type of way or you're protesting it, we're going to protest your feelings about something.
You're going to protest your protest.
And we want you to risk getting brain disease from concussions to entertain us, but the minute you feel that you have a personal opinion about something that's happening to your demographic, we don't want to hear it, and if you insist on making us hear it, we're going to take your career from you.
But my thing is, just because they're in sports, how come they can't have political opinions or any kind of opinion? So because they're in sports, they're only machines. They're only supposed to play and shut up, and that's it. But we're still pushing them to get an education. Because if they don't go to college, then we're like, oh, well, you should have had something to fall back on. Which one do you want?
I don't know. That's the crazy part of the whole thing for me. I don't really know how these athletes allow themselves to be, or I should say why they agree to certain parameters of contracts that they sign. But yeah, once you sign a contract with a team, I know specifically for football, you can't go anywhere with your jersey on. Like if it's a regular day and you're going to go pump gas or something, or you can't wear your jersey because when you go out now, you're a property of that team. So if you do something, they feel like you're harming their brand by wearing that jersey, and if you do something. So if you are, say, going to a fundraiser, and you're a world-class athlete, everybody knows you. You have to get permission from the owners. Can I wear my jersey when I go down here for this thing? And I'm sure they get a cut of whatever your appearance fee is. And they're just like churches. They're like all the NFL. A lot of people don't know this. They're tax exempt. They don't have to pay taxes.
Yeah, you told me that a little while ago, and I was shocked. I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy. But anyway, Char. Is Char here?
Is she?
I saw her, but she's not saying anything.
She's getting a vodka tonic.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm here. The drama's over. I am here, everybody. I'm here.
We can now all rejoice. Char is here.
Oh my God, it was crazy. All right, yeah, just a lot of drama. Sorry about that. I'm okay now. Everything's good. Back to our regularly scheduled program.
Good Lord.
Oh.
Do you ever have a day without drama? I'm just wondering.
No.
Asking for a friend.
Nope, not at all. And, it's actually not even that big a deal. It's not like it's something that everybody can't hear. I literally just didn't have a place to broadcast from today, everybody, so that's what it was. Because the new guy took over the office that I normally sit in. Then I went to the conference room thinking nobody would be in there, and some other guy said it's his actual office. How is a conference room someone's office? So then Charles kicks the new guy back out so I can sit back here again. But meanwhile, I'm on the sales floor, and he thinks I'm on the sales floor, like, hey, talking all crazy. So you know what? That's all it was. I'm good. I'm right back where I used to broadcast from, in his office. So now everything is calmed down. So sorry for the delay. That's what it was. I just felt like I didn't have a home. I told Kyle I was wandering around like, I need to talk to all the people in the world. I need to be able to talk to them.
Well, how's it going over there in sunny Las Vegas?
And she's going.
Did she go now?
No, I'm still here. Sorry about that. I just kind of faded out for a second, everybody. I'm still here. I heard you guys say Las Vegas something. So yeah, that's me.
I said, how is it going in sunny Las Vegas?
We're just playing. What is that word called in sunny Las Vegas? It's hot. What's that word called? You know when you're kids and you play the chair game? That's how it was. It's like musical chairs. So yeah, we're just trying to figure this out. But yeah, it's really hot. Too hot. I haven't got on my pool yet for the summer. I don't know what I'm waiting for actually, but I don't know. Just need to dive right in there.
I heard that y'all are having a really hard, really horrible heat wave over there. Is it over there, or am I thinking about Asia? Because I know, was it Philippines, 120 something degrees?
Yeah, but see, that's normal for us. So it might be somewhere because they have humidity. So and for us, it's dry heat. So 120 is not impossible. We get up to 3 digits at any point of the summer, at any summer, every summer at some point. So I don't think it's us because literally it was 105 already the other day. It'll get up to 117. It's about 120. Yeah. Isn't Phoenix like that? Isn't Phoenix as hot as that too? So it's kind of like that. Anywhere between June, July, and August is exceptionally our hottest season ever. It's horrible. That's why I can't believe I haven't gotten my pool. Have you guys ever just been afraid to jump in like that one time to get it off the way because it's so cold? I don't know. Does anybody swim it? So I'm even asking this question.
Of
you
course.
guys
I'm from the
swim or don't swim? Okay.
Of course.
That's right. Yeah, but the island water can be warm in some spots. It's not necessarily freezing all over the entire island. Like the water, am I right? Depending on the current, depending on
usually cool.
Well, you know what? When I went to Mexico, I remember specifically, and it was right on the coastal waters. It was near Mexico City. Oh, it's Porto or something. Anyway, but the water was super warm the entire time. It was wonderful. So and it wasn't that hot outdoors. So I think it depends on which coastal waters that it is. It depends on like where it's located. I'm pretty sure it probably varies. Just like some water's clear, some water's murky, some beaches are white sands and others have black sands, and some are rocky and some are But I've just been like such a chicken to just jump in and get over with because I can't stand really cold water. So. Oh, but yeah, when it gets
the heat wave is currently going all through the western coast in Mexico, and it's really bad in the Bay Area.
Okay,
but
I just left New Mexico too. It was hot. Oh, wow. See, where did you? So Kai said the Philippines. She went way over there to Asia. I was like, what? I mean, they could have a heat wave, but isn't it normally hot in certain other countries?
Are you crazy? You know how hot it is in Asia?
No,
it's
that's
like
what I just said.
It's tropical.
No, that's what I just said. But Kai was saying, isn't it somewhere maybe in the Philippines they got up to 120, they're having a heat wave? And I'm like, isn't it hot there most of the time? That was my point. Hot and muggy. So, but
it depends on what part of Asia you're talking about. But anywhere from India all the way over to China, certain parts of China is a desert. So, yeah, it's hot. It gets crazy hot.
Wow. Yeah. Well, all I know is it's here, guys. Summer is here. I mean, it's here for everybody, pretty much, in the States. Yep. What do you do?
Yeah. Well, I apologize.
It's skimpy.
USA with Asia.
I know, that's why I was laughing. I was like, did she really say? But you know what? But it's skimpy clothing weather. So basically, this is when the ladies, pull all stops. This is when the ladies just literally throw the rest of their clothing. I don't know. They put it away for the season or something and just walk out with just a little something to cover the nipples and a little something to cover the thighs. I don't know. And that's the excuse, is that it's so hot. I mean, this is what I hear every year. Like, do you know you're literally naked? I know, but it's so hot. And in Vegas, you can walk on the strip. No, I don't, and I don't dress that way. I don't dress super skimpy. I mean, I don't. If I was doing a shoot years ago, I would do that for the shoot, but I don't dress like that. And no, in Vegas, you can walk on the strip, though, with just a thong, with just dental floss. No one's even really going to blink.
Good Lord.
I mean, they might take a picture with you, though, for $1, but they're not going to really, it's not like you're disturbing the peace, so to speak, and you're not being lewd or indecent because it's just kind of normal. But, yeah, it's crazy.
But the funny thing is, if you actually put on clothes, it's less hot than if you walk around with like booty shorts on.
Yeah, I've tried that before because I cover my arms up in the summer, and people think I'm crazy. And I'm like, hello, it's actually cooler. I'm protecting myself from the actual sun beating down directly on my skin. I mean, the logic makes sense to me, but people look at you like you've lost your mind. Like, no, less clothes.
Yeah, well,
no.
I mean, haven't you ever noticed if you go against the grain, people look at you like you've lost your mind because you're not following everybody?
Yeah, that is true. But scientifically is what I think they're thinking, though. I think they're thinking scientifically, like, why would you put on more clothes when it's so hot? Take them off, you'll be cooler. Not, you know what I mean? Not necessarily to be different and argumentative. I don't think that's why they say it. I think they're just assuming scientifically there's no way that you can actually be cooler with clothes on, especially long sleeves. I mean, it's not like I'm wearing a turtleneck. You know what I mean?
Well, actually, if they're going scientifically and or biologically, then apparently they didn't go to school, because both scientifically and biologically speaking and logically speaking, if the heat isn't beating down directly on you, you have a barrier between you and the heat. And especially if that barrier is like loose, so it allows like the air to circulate through your, I guess, body or whatever, or through between the body and the piece of clothing, then obviously you're going to be less hot. And then if you look at it even more logically, if you look at people who live in like hot places like the desert, like the Sahara Desert, or like even in the Philippines, like I said, for instance, look at how they dress. They don't walk around wearing spaghetti straps and stuff. They're always covered up, even up to their head is covered up. They have something always on them. So doesn't that tell you that people who actually live in the desert would know how to dress for heat more? So that's just my thing. That's just me. I could be wrong.
Well, it's common sense. Every desert place you go to, whether it's the Gobi Desert or the Arabian Desert or the Saharan Desert, they all basically wrap their heads up and put a whole bunch of clothes on, men and women. So, I don't know. But I think it's what she said. It's just an excuse to dress, scantily clad, and they can't wait. Yeah. I think that's exactly what she said. It's just they look for a reason, and then once summertime, oh, it's hot, I have to take everything off. Like what? Okay.
Yeah, pretty much annoying. But anyways, we are going to go to commercial. And actually, our sponsor for this week is My Ugly Podcast. So it's the same commercial from last week. And you can actually find them on Stitcher at My Ugly Truth Podcast. So we're going to go ahead and play their commercial. And like I said, you can find them on Stitcher at My Ugly Truth Podcast. So when we come back from commercial, we're going to delve into our topic of what do women bring to a relationship. This is a topic that both the women on the panel have been having an argument with logic over. So we're going to actually hear what he has to say, what he thinks women bring to a relationship, which I'm pretty sure is going to be what he's going to say is nothing. And then we're going to hear from just our listeners who've answered the questions online, and me and Char, as to what we think women bring to a relationship. And you can also chime in. You can call us at 607-203-5378. That's 607-203-5378. Or you can go to our Facebook at No Conduct Radio on Facebook and leave us a message as to what you think you bring to a relationship. We'll be right back.
Go listen, download, and subscribe to the My Ugly Truth podcast. My Ugly Truth, a real, unfiltered, and uncensored raw storytelling podcast about a Jersey girl living in a crazy Florida world. She's got a wild heart and a reckless soul with a mouth she can't control. And Angie is in her early 30s, now single, hosting My Ugly Truth, where she shares her real stories about heartbreaks, co-parenting, and some dating advice, also sharing her podcast guide of what not to do, based on true events. Stream, download today on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, and you can also find more content and follow on Instagram at My Ugly Truth Podcast. That's My Ugly Truth, hosted by Angie, getting excellent reviews. Go listen, download, and subscribe today. You can also connect on Facebook, My Ugly Truth Podcast, and follow on Twitter at MyUglyTruth_pod.
And we're back. And Angie, when you listen to your drop, I would like for you to go to our website, www.noconduct.com, and let us know what you think women bring to a relationship. So you can actually help us tell Logic that women actually bring something to our relationship. It's not just men doing all the heavy lifting. Women do stuff too. But yeah, so if you want to join in, you can call us, 607-203-5378, 607-203-5378. And I'm also going to post this question to our website, www.noconduct.com. You can go there, and right there on the home page, you'll find this week's question. Go ahead and answer that question. What do women bring to a relationship? You don't have to be a woman to answer. If you're a guy, you can say women bring XYZ or women don't do anything. We want to hear from you either way. Do you agree with Logic, or are you going to agree with the women who think they bring something to a relationship? So, like I said, Logic wanted to do this topic. I don't know why. I think he had like a thorn in his ass about what women bring to a relationship. Logic, do you remember what made you think of this topic?
Yeah, Logic, what made you think of it again? We talked about this before.
I think it was, What?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it was either a friend or something that I read, but I believe it was a friend of mine that was just talking to me, and he was saying that this girl that he's talking to, she wants to take things to the next level, and she's upset that he wants to pace himself, and he's been working hard all his life, and he's finally starting to amass the fruits of his labors, you know what I mean? And when we were younger, dudes that were, in our age bracket at the time, they were out partying and doing all this stuff, not taking anything seriously. And, of course, they were the guys that these chicks wanted to be around. He was, largely ignored. But, now that he's older and the paradigm has shifted, and I don't want to say paradigm, but more of the value system has shifted. Now he is a sought after commodity. You know what I mean? Like women see the car that he's driving now, and they, if they find out that he lives in this area, so that means that blah blah blah. So it's like the things that weren't important before are important now, and this girl that he was talking to, which he described, really doesn't have anything together, is like really acting as if he's doing something wrong by not really wanting to intertwine himself with her, by moving her in and taking on responsibilities of her life. And I was just thinking, like, what is she bringing to the table? You know, like what? How is she sweetening this deal to make it seem like he's wasting my time? Then, so I don't know if it was that. I'm pretty sure it probably was that made me think about that. But I just don't understand. Like most of the time, most of my friends and most of the people that I have heard about in passing, it doesn't seem like they get much from their relationship besides sex. So I'm just wondering, what do women bring to the relationship typically? Because women look for all this other stuff, like, oh, he has to have a job like this, he has to not be here, he has to, like girls can basically be bums living at home, then the dude will still date them. The guy will still be with them, you know what I mean? So what do women bring to the table?
Logic, I have a question about that. It's not a comment, it's a question. When you said a girl can basically be a bum living at home, how is she a bum if she's living at home with her parents? Now, this is a double standard, because if a man lives at home with his parents at a certain age, people do consider him to be a bum. Maybe he's a loser, maybe he has no motivation. But how is a woman a bum if she's at home with her mother or her father, and her father? How is that considered to be a bum, especially if she's young?
Well, a bum to me is somebody who can't operate on a level on their own unaided. That's a bum. You know, so if she's living at home because she can't afford to have her own place because she's not made the proper decisions in life to put herself in a position to have her own place, then she's a bum. But if she's at home for another reason, then I don't consider that a bum. You know what I mean? Or extenuating circumstances. Just like I would not look at a guy as a bum if he's, you know, in his 30s and he's at home. You know, if he's at home because he started his own business and he's putting all of his money back into the business, and, you know, why kill yourself with an apartment or a condo where you can just really continue to put all of that money back in your business and make yourself a success. I understand that. I can see the
yeah, but what about the woman who has a great relationship with her parents, just so happens that her mom is her so-called best friend, and she also has it worked out to where she gives her portion of the rent and the utilities and food, and she just would rather she loves her parents, they love her, they love being together. How that still doesn't fall under bum category. Now, if it's just where someone's not working, not wanting to work, not going to school, not helping out, you know, I mean, there's plenty of people like that, male and female. You know, the parents pay for everything, and you're just basically dead weight. You're an asset, not a liability in any way. I get that. Is that what you had in mind? Just someone if a woman is just bumming off completely off her parents? That means not helping
again,
out.
Like okay. I said, somebody who can't operate on their own unaided. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bum. Now, I'm going to tell you, if I met a girl that says, I just love my parents, and what was the reason for moving out? Because I love them, and that would send a red flag off for me for a different reason. Because you can love your parents, but you still need your own space. And if you, as an adult woman, hasn't come to that conclusion yet, then I'm going to look at you as you're probably you got something else going on here. Like you have some kind of separation anxiety with your parents. And I personally would not want to intertwine myself with something like that.
Is age a factor? Because if a woman is 18, 19, 20 years old, even 21, wouldn't you think that that's still, you know, she doesn't mind being nurtured?
Well, yeah, you're still a kid. You're
mm-hmm.
still a teenager. Even into your late 20s, honestly. Like with the cost of living out here, like I don't expect young people to have their own place. I know people think that you're supposed to be out and blah, 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 but I think that's not realistic, you know. But in your 30s, yeah, you need to.
Okay. Yeah.
There needs to be a reason why you're still at the house in your 30s.
Well, you got to fly sometime. I mean, you know, because it could be all kinds of insecurities that are not healthy, and then that would be a concern if you wanted to, you know, make a life with that person. Then you'd have to wonder what other insecurity would there be, you know, based on the fact that they're not ready for the world at a particular age. So I agree with that.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of guys are dealing with. Where you got some girls that the only time they leave the house is when they're moving in with their dude. So she's never had to be responsible. She's never had to struggle against, whatever in order to provide for herself, which means that she's not familiar with being an adult and having to make decisions based on, okay, what's best for me as far as my finances, and I need to be rational, which is, I think, why you'll find a lot of young people, men and women, that have bad decision-making processes where they'll, I want to go and I just want to have fun and enjoy my youth. And, that sounds great. No, we all want that. But at the same time, if you're also saying, I want to own my own house by the time I'm 35, I want to get a mortgage. Well, you can't go and keep taking trips to Cancun. You have to, at some point, start planning and executing some kind of, economical strategy. You can't just keep going on vacation. So-and-so's going on vacation. Why don't we ever go? It's like you got to be rational. So, essentially, that's
so basically, you don't think a woman brings anything at all to a relationship?
I didn't say that. I'm just asking. Most women I know, besides physical things, no, they don't really add anything to a dude's life. You got some guys out here that for some reason they can't work a washing machine. I don't know what that's about. It seems pretty simple to me, But those type of dudes, which I call Mister, like the guy from Color Purple, where he needs somebody to cook, clean, and take care of the kids, and that guy, I guess that guy needs a woman for that. But someone like myself, like I know how to cook, I know how to clean, so you have to bring something to the table to make me feel that you're special and you're worth this time. And there's very few girls, besides physical things, have taken the time to, make themselves valuable in any other way.
Well, Logic, what do you think that this sentence, not sentence, but what do you think this particular, I guess you can call it just a statement. What does the statement mean to you? Behind every good man is a good woman. What does that mean to you?
Nothing.
So you don't believe that it's outside of physical, because physical is still cooking and cleaning as well as sex. I mean, no, this is what I'm getting at, Kai. So cooking and cleaning is physical, just like sex is physical. Did you ever think that emotional support is just as important and coming from women? For a lot of men that think, oh, I can cook, I can clean, I don't need her for this, that's true. But believe it or not, the reason they say that is because it's true. The woman is a helpmate, That means that she's there to support and encourage and uplift, because everybody can't always uplift themselves. Everybody needs somebody. So if everybody needs somebody, there's a benefit. She's not necessarily a liability. She is an asset if she's a good woman, period. See, that's why they say behind a great man is a good woman. I mean, that's just what it is. You may not see past the surface of it because, a lot of women do use what's between their legs. I get it. To say this is what stabilizes my relationship. But you know what? Those women have an issue. Let them be where they are. But to say that you can do it all and you don't need it for anything else more likely than outside of sex, because, again, you can take care of yourself physically in every manner. It's important to have emotional support, emotional stability, emotional and mental and all of that, as well as how when you build feelings for each other, it makes you feel better about who you are, to know that there's somebody who's really riding or dying for you. You're not just doing this on your own out there in this great world, period. Because even though you can do it, Logic, who wants to? After a while, who wants to? That's why women are here. That's why whoever people consider God, our Creator, is why He has a male and a female, a woman, men and woman, because there's the word. It's right inside the word. men, woman. There's a reason for that. You can't have one without the other. You won't be successful per se with one eventually without the other. That's why we give birth to men. And we help make them great by bringing them into the world. And then from that point, the cycle continues. Give birth to men, give birth to women. They're equally important, not as far as money goes, but emotionally and just being there for each other if you find the right person. If you don't find the right person, then they are dragging you down. They are a liability. And that woman is probably good for only what's in between her legs. Kai, did you want to add to anything to that, or?
I agree with Char, because that's what I was going to say. You know, men and women were created in conjunction because we support each other. I mean, Logic sees it from his point of view, which is, you know, I bring in the money and, you know, I have to always be the one to save the day or whatever. However, a woman is there for certain aspects too. Like, I mean, maybe you can cook for yourself and you can wash your own clothes and stuff like that, but you need somebody to lean on. You cannot go through life by yourself. So even if a woman just brings in emotional support enough to just, you know, for you to put your head on their shoulders if you've had a bad day, or just for the sex aspect. Like, what are we going to do, go through life just living alone, beating it off? Like, even so, we still bring something to the relationship. And then it depends on the kind of guy you are. So if you're a stand-up guy, then no, the woman doesn't necessarily bring money. I mean, she could, but you'll probably still want to use your own money. But if you're not a stand-up guy, then definitely the woman brings money to the relationship, because in my past relationship, I was the breadwinner. I paid for everything. I did everything. I taught the man how to fix a car. I did everything. So it just depends on what kind of a man you are. But even if you are a man that does, like, you know, I'll be paying all the bills, my woman ain't paying nothing, we still bring something to the relationship. That's why man and woman were created. It wasn't just a dude, they say. I don't want to say it. It wasn't just a dude that was made. It was a man and a woman, and the woman was there to support the man. That's all I got to say.
Okay. Now, going back to this relationship that you had.
Thank you, Kai.
Where you... going back to this relationship where you're describing this guy that you brought money to the table and you taught him how to fix a car. Were you happy?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, wait, stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there.
Okay, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
If this guy, after all of that, came to you and put his head on your shoulders and said, I'm having a bad day or a rough time, would you feel butterflies in your stomach for this dude?
But we were made differently. I'm not made to support the household. That's not my role in life.
That's not my question.
So no,
that's not my question.
He coming to lay his head on my shoulder like, oh, Timothy was horrible to me at work.
No,
you're
taking this in another direction.
I just said that she's not feeling so
I just
warm
said
and
with the amount of what you just described, is that dude coming and resting his head on your shoulders, as you say, is that something you found appealing?
But after I just finished doing everything and now I have to still be the emotional support on top of that? That's what you're asking me?
Yes, the description you just gave me.
No, I did everything.
Okay,
no,
that is
no
my point. That is
Logic. She might be
okay.
No, that's not.
That is my point.
You're
I think you're saying
we're
one or
saying.
the other. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You like if okay. So in your area, like let's say this is Logic and his girl. I know what kind of guy you are. So you're gonna pay for everything. You're gonna do all of this stuff. And then you turn around and lay your head on her shoulder just for that emotional, like, I just need your energy right now. That's completely different than
I would never. I'm going to tell you why I would never do it. I'm going to tell you why I would never do it.
I don't believe you. That's ridiculous.
You don't know me, Char, so it doesn't matter what
It doesn't
think.
matter. You're still human. You're not beyond human.
Yeah, I'm a human being, but I listen. I am a student of human nature, and I'm gonna tell you this: all of this the whimsical stuff that you're saying, it sounds great, but I'm gonna tell you right now, women are cold and cutthroat. If they're getting with a guy, and he's in his 20s, and he's working a lot, there's gonna be a point where they start getting irritated if he's working a lot and they're not living in the most best situation possible. If a dude is working his ass off and you just have an okay apartment, but you still have to work hard, he still has to work hard, you're both building. It takes men longer to get to a point where they can get the fruits of their labor. Women, the best time in their life is when they're young because they're hot and they're sexy and everybody wants them and whatever. So that's the high point in their life. A lot of women nowadays are not sticking with a guy that has a hoopty for a car and doesn't have a lot of money to take them out and have fun and go on trips and whatever. They want this regardless. So you ain't going to sit here and try to convince me that some young girl that's 25 right now and is hot and sexy and she's in the best shape of her life and she'll never be there again and she knows it is going to sit there and tank it out with a guy that's 27, 28, still trying to work his way up, and get money and start something. She's not doing it because once another guy comes along that has a little bit more money and maybe he's a little bit in better shape or whatever the reason or equation is, that he somehow comes out on top over this guy that she's with at the moment, she's going to go. 9 times out of 10, she's leaving because people don't have loyalty like they used to. This is not the 50s. This is not the 40s. This is the 21st century where everybody swipes right or left. There's no kind of shame in a woman just bailing on a dude, because women will actually applaud her like, yeah, you're taking charge of your sexuality. You don't have to sit here. So there is no problem. There's not even any stigma anymore with a young girl getting with some old guy that's getting a pension. Like, that's not even frowned upon anymore. So you're not going to sit here and convince me that all these chicks are out here wasting their youth for some guy that they love, and they're just building something, and once he becomes a champion, she's the one that's helped him. That's not happening. All these people that you hear that are successful and have done it, they have been bailed on or played when they were younger. Some girl that they loved, left them, and they continued to move forward, and now, all of a sudden, because they got money or they have a little bit of fame, now all these girls want to be with him. That's what it is. That's the reality of the situation. That friend that I told you about, he over the years he was dating girls. They played him for the local drug dealers or whatever guys had a fancy car at the time and they had a job that paid for the moment or whatever, and they did not look at him, dismissed him. He moved out of the city. They thought he was corny, like, oh, he's moving to the suburbs. I don't even want to, I'm a city girl. But now he has a 4-bedroom house with over an acre of land and everything. Now all of a sudden he's interesting. Now all of a sudden he has something they want. Now all of a sudden that they're slowing down and they're not getting so many numbers or people pulling over to talk to him. Now all of a sudden he's looking attractive.
But you're talking about like bum women who were raised to be superficial. And this is coming from a superficial woman.
All right. Well, then take it to successful women. Most women wants a guy that has more than them. So if there's some woman that's successful that has a business, she's going to want another business owner or a CEO or whatever. How many guys fit into that category? There probably will be plenty of dudes that woman can date that has a good job, but he's a garbage man, but he's making $27-something an hour. But his title is garbage man. She's not going to date him because that's not a sexy title. She's going to want a dude that's a city council member or a mayor or, he has a couple of businesses or he is a consultant for this or whatever. They want a sexy title. Most women who are successful, they are not messing with average dudes. Not at all.
I mean,
well, that's true. That is true.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
If a woman is, I guess with a guy, if he's successful, it doesn't matter if the woman's as successful. However, from a guy's point of view, if he's successful, he's going to go for the prettier women. It's not like you're going to be up there successful and you're going to go for the regular or ugly women that other guys don't go for.
Teeth.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, that's not really true. It depends. It depends.
Ugly duckling.
No, but it is just like you're generalizing women. You're saying usually. I'm saying usually with guys. Usually, if they're up there successful, if you look at all those baseball players and freaking athletes and rappers, musicians, even rock and roll stars, like all of them, look at their women. Like Mick Jagger, as ugly as he is, look at all the hot models he was with. You know what I'm saying? So look at the billionaire, that ugly French guy. He married Selma Hayek. So you really can't argue with us on this one. If a guy is successful, he's more looking at the pretty women. Just like if a woman is successful, she's more looking for a successful guy. She's not looking for a guy that she's going to take care of. With a man, if they're successful, they're more looking at, hey, the way that I show my success is I have the hot women with me. So,
and of course she's not going to have big goals, and it's going to be what's between her legs and her face. So those are the women that logic must be categorizing because, think about it. That's what they have to offer. That's it. And that's okay.
What? Wait a minute. I must be categorizing what?
When you were saying that what a woman has to bring to the table basically outside of sex is really not much else, that might be true if it's in these cases where, like, if a man is successful, with the more money the man has, the prettier the woman comes. Okay, that's it. And so, yes, those types of women are groomed for that type of relationship where it is not their job to know, the extra square of
I've tried to explain this. I've tried to explain this to you before. You got two different men in life, two different types of men. You got men that do things for the acquisition of sex. And you got a dude that does things because he's driven. Those dudes that are driven, that just wants to do whatever, wants to be the best at whatever that they're doing, they're not necessarily out there cruising, I got to get the hottest chick with the best body or whatever. No, because a lot of them guys, they're married to just average-looking chicks. Bill Gates is married to a regular-looking chick. What's his name?
But he's married to somebody who was with him through thick and thin. It's not like he got rich and then married a regular chick.
Do not sow that lie. He was a billionaire before he met her. He met her after. He just got with a regular-looking chick. That's what happened. Denzel's wife looked like she should work at Barnes & Noble or whatever. You know what I mean? He's not.
Stop.
What? I'm not. Listen, I'm not cracking on her. I'm not saying she's ugly. I'm just saying she doesn't look like a supermodel.
You know what I mean? The average, yeah. But she was with him.
My thing is, but my point is that he is the top of his class. He's considered one of the best actors alive right now. So if his whole thing was, I need a beautiful woman tonight, he could have easily divorced her, got rid of her, and then got some other chick that looks way better. There's plenty of black women out there that would have married this guy, if that's what he was trying to do. This billionaire that you're talking about, this dude has gone around and all he dates is supermodels and all he does is just smash chicks and then he's done and he rolls out or whatever. And Selma Hayek was the one that trapped this dude with a baby. That's what she did. That was her whole hustle. She's been running around out there having sex for 40 years and not getting pregnant, and all of a sudden she forgot how not to be when it became a billionaire. Was on the line.
She was never with a guy with a lot of money before, and she just trapped him.
Did you hear me say that? Did you hear me say that?
Wait. No. Wait. So he doesn't know how his penis works. She just suddenly figured out how sperm and egg work, and she trapped him with a
What
baby.
I'm saying,
he didn't know how to wrap it out.
what I'm saying,
Okay,
what
that's
I'm
funny.
saying is, he was not committing to her. He was smashing her. It was only after she got pregnant that he stayed around. His whole thing is he goes and he gets with young models or whatever, and he smashes these chicks. This is what he does. Selma Hayek knew this, but the difference is Selma Hayek is 50. She knows that she can't land whales for much longer. She's on borrowed time. So her thing was, I'm pregnant or whatever. He's damned if he does or damned if he doesn't, because if he marries her, it's cheaper to keep her. Like, okay, you can be in my house and whatever and blah, blah, blah. Or she can take him to court for child support, and she can get $10,000 a month or something like that, or even more, because he's a billionaire and she's a celebrity. You know, it's the same thing with your boy Tyrese. Then he was crying on Instagram because this chick was bleeding him. You know what I mean? And then who else you had? You had it was somebody else that wanted an episode. Janet Jackson. Oh, it's been smashing for 50, 60 years. You know what I mean? Well, not 60, but she's been smashing for, almost half a century. Didn't get pregnant, been running around doing whatever she's doing. All of a sudden, she gets with a billionaire son, and I'm pregnant, and you're Arab, and you would only marry a Muslim woman. Oh, all of a sudden now I'm Muslim. Yeah, it makes sense to me. I'm going to do it. And then she gets pregnant, and he's abusive. I'm out of here. And
as soon as she got pregnant, she was gone. That was a little shady. I mean, honestly, they were together 5 years. So then she gets pregnant the 5th year. Oh no, this is not going to work. I mean, I do wonder.
Janet Jackson has been a millionaire for a long time. What stopped her from meeting a guy that was a really good dude who was just a musician or an artist or some kind of intellectual or a book author or something like that, and he would have really loved her, and they would have had some great conversations until the sun came up walking on the beaches because, again, she has money. She's a Jackson. What stopped her from making that kind of connection?
Actually,
Kim Kardashian and the rest of her.
She did.
What?
Renee DeBarge. She has a child. She had a child before, but she didn't want to have anything to really do with the girl.
Shut the hell up, would you?
It's not necessary.
Just would you stop it? My point being, all of these broads out here that have access to money or whatever, they're not looking for a connection. They're looking for status. They're looking for a dude that's on a level that they can brag about. And that goes to even a chick that works at the Pancake House. She's looking for status. It doesn't matter if the dude that she's with works at the tire shop and he plugs tires all day, but he loves this girl. He writes her poetry when he's on his off time, on break, his little 25-minute break he gets or whatever. It doesn't matter to these girls. Because in the end of the day, he works at a tire shop, and she can't brag about that. But the dude that really doesn't care about her, that anytime she comes over to his condo because he's getting money, he bends her over a couch and gives her the business and then tells her, look, I got to get up in the morning, so I'll just talk to you later. And she leaves, feeling cheap or whatever. She's going to stick with that guy because he has a condo on the far side of town where all the rich folk live. She's going to stay with that guy. She's going to keep going out there and getting disrespected because they're after status. You know what I'm saying? That's my point. So my thing is for the dudes.
It's a young girl fantasy. I mean, most mature women don't think like that.
Really?
At least I don't think they do. Never mind.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Do you really want to? You want to go down that path?
Not enough time in the show for me to shut you back down, so go ahead.
Okay. All right. Good girl. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So I'm not saying that women are useless or whatever, because I totally agree. It's a beautiful thing when you have a woman that's really going to hold you down, have your back, And, you know, regardless of what you go through, she's not going to abandon you. And, yeah, that can make a man feel like he can take on the world. But women are not made like that anymore. That died out in the, I would say, the 60s. Well, whoever those Black Panther women were that stuck with those dudes that were having shootouts with cops and looking at jail time, and they still, I love this brother. And that chick is gone. Whatever generation that was, that died out. It did not come back.
Yeah.
Ever since then, it was just over.
Yeah, I'll go to prison for you. I'll go to jail for you.
Well, I'm still saying that you're talking about general, like most women. There are women out there who are complete opposite of what you're saying.
We're not talking about unicorns. I'm just saying the average. What does the average woman actually bring to a relationship?
So if they're bringing, so you don't even think that an average woman brings like emotional support. You think they're just siphoners?
Yes, because most women are just emotional beings. So if a dude meets a girl, he has a relatively calm life, you know what I mean? And he works and he's balancing his life and his work, and he plays his video games or watches his sports, whatever he does, to blow off steam and stay a balanced individual. Usually, when the woman comes into his life, she's adding more drama at some point. And she might not be the worst thing that ever happened to him, but it's like if he wants to sit around and watch sports or play video games, typically she's going to start like, okay, well, what are we going to do this weekend? So it's not like he doesn't have the calm that he once had. Now he has this other thing now that he has to worry about. Like, oh, God, I got to do something. She's going to get upset. You know what I mean? Typically. Now, some atypical women are not going to give a dude a problem about that. But most women are going to want to start changing some things for it to be more comfortable for them. You know? If he doesn't, you know, if Valentine's Day rolls around and he gets her just a card or something, she's going to be upset about that she just got a card. Because in her mind, what did this card cost? $1.50? Like he couldn't even get me flowers and blah, blah, blah. How many women do you know get their dude flowers? Or let's say guys don't care about flowers. They don't, you know. But, let's say a guy, a guy likes sports. You live in some city where the sports team he likes, usually guys like the sports team of the city they're from. How many women, average women, do you think knows my man loves the Clippers or the Jacksonville Jaguars? So I'm going to save up my money all year, and I'm going to get him 2 tickets close to the action at the stadium. Now, I know I hate sports, so I'm not even going to force him to take me. I'm going to give it to him so he can give it to his brother or his friend, and they can go down there and have fun. How many women do you think do that?
I mean, I know some women who would do something like that.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Kai, how many women do you think do that?
I don't know, because I can ask Char, do you know any women who would do that?
Let me rephrase this question. Do you think it's common?
I mean, if it's not common, then that's pretty damn sad.
You know what? I swear, half of you chicks should be lawyers. You know damn well that's not happening. Most women ain't doing it. This is not happening. They're going to give a dude a problem about watching it on okay, take it to TV. Take it to TV. How many women do you know has a man that loves sports? He has to go down to some local bar. She wants him home, but he goes to a bar or something to watch the game because the TV's big. He has to have How many women do you think come up with a 2-year plan? I'm going to save up money for the next 2 years, and I'm going to get him a 75-inch showstopper. flat screen HD TV so he can watch the game at home and feel good about himself. How many women do you think sacrificed 2 years
I guess not
for
to
their
be,
man?
not to be
If you talk about yourself, I'm going to hang this phone up, and I'm going to talk to you next week. We ain't talking about you.
Oh, my God. Logic is on a roll today.
I mean, based on what I see on TV, because in reality I don't hang around that many women, and the women that I do hang around, I'm usually giving them advice when I see them, like, sniping at their dude. I'm like, okay, calm down, think about the day. So based on TV, I do see a lot of women like nagging their guys, or they'll, even if it's a day of the game, they usually just they'll schedule something on that day and be like, oh, it's just a game, you could watch it later. Or, you know, they do tell them don't watch the game in the house. So I guess based on TV, which a lot of people follow what's on TV, then I would say most women don't do that.
Okay. So that's my point. There's a lot of dudes that are working jobs where they swallow buckets of bullshit all week, all month, day in, day out, to pay that mortgage, to keep a house, to a roof over her head, to give her the things that she loves. They know that she likes flowers. They know that she likes this, and then they give it to her because they want to keep their wife happy. You know, they do whatever goofy shit that they do with the kids. The amount of women that do not give a second fucking thought about their guy. They don't even think to do something like, I'm going to make him his favorite food, and then I'm going to find some way to fuck off for the day so he can watch the game in peace, so he doesn't have to sit here and deal with the kids crying and making noise. Because this is only one season throughout the entire year that he gets to do something that he likes. I'm going to make sure every fucking Sunday or Monday night or whatever time his team plays, dare I dream that she actually goes online to find out what schedule his team is on, to figure out what days that she needs to be out of his hair. They don't do it because they don't give a shit unless the guy is a millionaire or he's way above their station, where she lives in a trailer park or at home in a basement with her parents, and she hates and she wants this guy to choose her so he can come live with her. They will jump through hoops to make that guy happy because they, you know, what he offers, not him himself, but the option that he offers is valuable to them. Women nowadays are only as loyal as their option. So if they don't look at him as valuable anymore, or they feel like, I got him already, he's married to me, he put my name on this mortgage, so I got him. I don't have to do anything now. I'm comfortable. They don't put the effort in. Dudes continue to have to tap dance. Now, I'm not saying all guys. You got some dudes out there that are pieces of shit. They treat their wives like shit. They don't care about their birthdays or whatever. You know, they're assholes. Just like, you know, whatever. I'm describing everyone. You know what I mean? But men get little to no regard. And most women don't offer them anything besides sexual stuff. Most time a woman wants to get their hooks into a dude is usually sexual things she's doing in order to get him hooked. It's not intellectual. It's not, you know, finding out the things that he's into or dare I dream, making an actual, genuine, real connection. There's none of that. It's, I'm going to wear this skirt because I know that my ass looks great in the skirt, and I'm going to make sure that I don't wear underwear. And, you know, and I'm going to bend over a certain way so he could. That's the kind of scheming that happens. And if those dudes are weak, they're going to fall for it, and they're going to be, you know, hooked. But it's not. They usually don't bring anything else. Everything else is a depletion. It's problems. It's, I need money for this. I can't move, or I blah blah blah. And oh no, my cell phone. Can you help me? And it's stuff like that.
So I have a question for you in particular. So you're the kind of guy that you don't want a girl paying for you. You don't want her. You are the main person with the money, to the point where you won't even let your girl know what's in the bank account or how much money you're bringing in or whatever. You just deal with everything. You pay for everything. Even if you're broke and your girl is like, I want to go out, you still find a way to take her out and you're paying for it. What do you expect a woman to bring to you then? Since you're saying all she'll do is like wear a sexy outfit and bend over what if you're doing everything and you won't allow her to do anything? What do you expect a woman to bring to you then? This is my question to you.
Aren't you paying for P and Deb ultimately if she can't bring anything else to you but that, and you pay for everything? But we'll pick that up next week. Go ahead. I'll wait for the answer.
Wait, what did you say?
I said, aren't you paying for P ultimately if all she could bring is sex to the table and you pay for everything as it's actually been out there now? We all heard that. Okay, so like I said, that's paying for P, what we just talked about a few weeks ago.
No,
it's
not the
especially
same.
if you could only bring sex to the table and you pay for everything, that's exactly what it is. But
no, it's not.
I rest my case.
I'm not. Hold on. Char. Settle yourself down.
But
settle yourself down.
So let's go back to Kai's question. I just wanted to make my valid point.
Oh my God.
That's exactly what it is. But Kai, that's a great question.
It is not what it is, because I'm not paying to keep her around. If she wants to walk, she can walk. Okay? Those dudes that are paying for cooch are the guys that's coming in leading with money, where, hey, what's going on, girl? You struggling out here? I can help you with your bills. And that's a guy that's using his money to get what he wants. That's a dude that's paying for coochie. If a girl says, yeah, I'm not going out with you, I got kids, so unless you're going to pay for my babysitter, I'm not going to. She's immediately making her time about money. So if he's going to agree to that, then he's a trick, and he's giving her this money.
You forgot the scenario. I said while you're getting to know that person and you're dating, I said you're going to pay for everything, because that's what men do. They take a woman out on a date.
And I corrected you. What I told you last time.
You just said you pay for everything.
Hold on.
What's the difference?
She said my girl. I said when I first meet a chick, I'm not paying for nothing. We're going to meet up to see if we have a connection. I'm not paying for your coffee. I'm not paying for anything. I'm not helping you with Uber money. If you don't have enough money to make it to the place to get to know me, you're a bum. And I'm not going to sit here and bother with you.
What constitutes the title of your girl? It could have been someone you've been just dating for 3 weeks, 3 months. I mean, but you like her. But it doesn't mean that she's not your wife.
It's assuredly going to take you months to become my girl. You're not passing my criteria in weeks. It's not happening.
Okay. All right.
So a woman.
Kai, do you remember your question? I'm sorry, because I know I just totally segued the whole thing. I just heard something. I was like,
yeah. My question, just to repeat it, my question is basically, since you are a guy who does everything, and you know how to cook, clean, wash clothes, you probably know how to do that better than women. So you don't need a girl for any of those things. What do you expect? What do you, Logic, expect a girl to bring to a relationship then?
Well, because I'm not looking for any of those things. I'm a very busy person. I have a demanding career, if you will. And there's certain things that I'm into, So if getting to know me, you don't take the time to know what type of stuff that I value. Like, say, if there's a play or a book, or there's something that through getting to know me that I'm gonna like, just get that. It doesn't really require a lot of money. It could be something as simple as, listen, I next time you come over, I recorded on my DVR this long lost interview of Malcolm X that, people never like that. You're paying attention at that point to the specific things that I'm into, or if a guy plays video games, a woman can go on his Steam account and see that there's something that he has in his wish list and buy it for him, and then the next time he goes on, you got me to, I saw that was on your wish list and I got it for you.
Or before we wrap up, because we got to wrap up, or as you were ridiculing earlier, if a girl knows you like this one sexy outfit and she comes over and bends over just the way you like.
No, listen to me. Yes, that's cool. But what I'm saying is, if that's all you have, I'm sorry, I look at you like a bum, because that's literally like a guy having green eyes, and he knows that you like green eyes. So you're taking a nap, and then he turns all these lights on and everything to make sure the first thing you see when you wake up is his green eyes.
Ah, that's
like
creepy.
I just thought that you would. I'm making a point here. My point.
Yeah, please let him make his point. I'm holding the data.
If he's in shape and all he does is just go into the kitchen and grease up with olive oil, and when you wake up like, hey, happy birthday. Well, what did that take you? To 15 minutes and what? A half an hour to think like, what kind of socks should I put on? Great job. Yeah, thank you. Like, I can't get this any day of the week. You're not taking time to figure out how to be a good mate or to do something that's going to be worthwhile for this person. If you know that this person could not take a vacation in the past 10 years of their life, save up. Save up for a year and a half, 2 years. If we all want something that we haven't got around to doing. Do that for the person. And you will assuredly have a position in their life and in their heart for many, many years to come. But most people, especially women, they just don't care. They know I got this and this is our relationship. I don't have to do it. I'm a girl. What do they expect? You know how many women would feel some type of way if they had to pay for a dude's vacation? They couldn't brag about that because their girlfriends would be like, what? You paid? What? Oh, no, my man took me and he paid for everything. And they look at you like you're a sucker because you paid.
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. If you have anything to add to what Logic is saying, or if you don't agree with what Logic is saying about what women bring to a relationship, don't forget you can go ahead and email us at noconductradio@gmail.com. You can also go to our website, www.noconduct.com, and just message us there. Next week we'll be back right here on No Conduct Radio with the pettiest things that you've done during a breakup. So those stories should be interesting. Thank you for joining us tonight. Peace out, everyone.
Okay, have a great week, everyone. Until next time. Goodbye.